I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. I've done a whole lot of battle royales on this channel, but I really only have two battlefield roles left to do a basic, one. Today we're gonna do a heavy support battle royale, and I got 10 factions, units, whatnot, lined up on the other side of the table. I got a board lined up on this side of the table. We're only gonna do a 4x5 instead of a 4x6. Just hoping I'm like maybe a foot shorter will make them closer together and maybe get the fighting starting more often as opposed to like waiting 3 turns for a move on the 4x6. Since it is kind of a bigger game and there are 10 factions, I'll be doing all of their phases all at once, and then we'll talk about it because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot to talk about with 10 different factions. This is the Red Gabo from a couple years ago. I missed turning him in for the painting competition at my local mall hammer by 1 day. I was super sad because probably like one of 3 that I've painted that I just feel super, super ridiculously happy about. I just like this guy. Alright, so all the area on this side of the dice is the little area they're going to be able to romp and play in. We have this little hill thing with a broken, ruined structure on one side of it. Nice big open area. Should be lots of room for movement and shooting and crazy awesomeness. Hop over there and meet these guys. Alright, so our first heavy support is the Exalted Seeker Chariot from Slanesh. This thing is an absolute beast. I expect it to do pretty well on the melee side of things. For Tyranids, we have this Tyrannifex. It has a acid spray and the Stinger Salvos, along with its powerful limbs. Of the 10, I expect 3 to make it to the end. The Tyrannifex, I figure it's probably going to be one of those 3. The Imperial Guard Rogaldorn. This is the first Imperial Guard tank that I got, and it was a beast. Still kind of a beast. Twin multi-melta, twin melta, Castigator, Gatling cannon, heavy stubber, and the Rogaldorn twin battle tank cannon thingy. This thing just kicks the crap out of stuff. I figure this, the Tyrannifex, and the Doomsday Arc are going to be the 3 last finalists. Speaking of the Doomsday Arc, this thing's got the twin gauze array, and then the Doomsday cannon. This thing's probably just going to sit in a corner and never move. And the Orcs. Orcs have donated this Depth Red. It has twin Dread Claws and twin Scorches. It may do okay. I mean, it's melee, so. The Night Lords have donated this Obliterator. These guys got way, way better in 9th edition than they were in 8th edition, so I expect this guy to do well. So according to the 9th edition Battlescribe stuff that I have access to, Wraith Lords are elite. But according to the 8th edition book, which I actually do own physically, he's a heavy support. That's why he's here. And Drukhari have this Talos. Got the twin splinter cannon, I think. Totally forgot that this guy has a Bright Lance, Ghost Glaive, and the Eldari missile launcher. Admech have donated a Castellan robot. He has the Sundine Combuster. Never really think I'm saying that correctly. And the Iron Warriors have tossed out a group of Havocs. That thing in the front next to the last cannon. It's not a last cannon. I don't remember what it is exactly. I just always play it as a last cannon. So two last cannons, the Reaper chain cannon, and a Havoc auto cannon. So yeah, 10 factions worth of heavy supports. I expect one of these three is going to win it. I don't know which one. I mean, Tyrannopex has a good save. Doran's got a lot of weapons. And yeah, that Doomsday Cannon just beats the crap out of stuff when it rolls right. So, alright, I'm going to figure out deployment, set these guys up, and we're going to have a whale of a time. Alright, so I managed to get all these guys deployed around this area. In the center on the ruins, we have the Iron Warriors Havocs. Death Dread also on this little center hill thing. And surrounding them, we have the Night Lord's Obliterator, the Drukhari Talos, the Necron Doomsday Arc, the Tyranid Tyrannofex, which sounds really funny, Admech, Castle and Robot, Eldar Wraithlord, Imperial Guard Rogel Dorn, and Slanesh's Exalted Secret Chariot. Alright, well, the orcs get to go first on this first round. I guess we're going to see what the Death Dread's able to do. Okay, so the Death Dread advanced down off of the hill towards this Tyrannofex. Since the Scorches are assault, it did indeed get the Twin Scorches off on it. Did a couple points of damage to it. Like one, I guess, really. I mean, you know, 1 point of damage. It's something. But he advanced, so he can't charge, so yeah. That's all he managed to do. Alright, well, that'll make it the Iron Warriors Havoc's turn. Alright, so these guys decided they weren't going to move because they really have the highest ground at the point right now. So they decided to dump everything they had into the Talos, and they sure killed it. Alright, well that knocks the Drukhari out of this battle, and that makes it the Wraithlord's turn. Well, with the loss of their Drukhari semi-allies, these guys definitely don't want to be anywhere near that Secret Chariot, so it just moved to the right over here. I did shoot the Bright Lance and the missile launcher at the Tyrannofex. Managed to do a decent amount of damage to it with the missile launcher. So it's definitely hurting now. That'll make it the Doomsday Arc's turn. For the Necrons over there in the corner. Alright, so the Doomsday Arc's actually doing a good job this time. Normally they don't. So the Godslayer array, we dumped both of those into the Death Dread, did a point of damage. Doomsday Arc actually rolled six shots, which was nice. Managed to do 9 damage to this Tyrannofex, which hurt it real bad, down to like 1 or 2 health. Sad that I didn't manage to kill it, but it's not for lack of trying. That does make it the Admech's turn. So this Castle and Robot's going to do something awesome. So relatively true to the lore that I've read or whatever. The Castellan's pretty interested in the Doomsday Arc over there. So it's headed over there to go through this Tyrannofex to get there. He just advanced. Doesn't have any assault weapons, so he couldn't do anything. So that's pretty much all he can do for his turn. That makes it the Rogel Dorn's turn. I have a feeling stuff's gonna get messed up here. Alright, so the Rogel Dorn has moved closer to the Exalted Secret Chariot. shot at it a little bit with the multi-meltas, which, of course, the invulnerable saved. Totally saved the Exalted Secret Chariot. Its twin battle cannon went into the Havocs, who also managed to save, which was crazy impressive. And then the heavy stubber winded this guy a little bit. So it shot a whole bunch of times. Really only managed to hurt the Wraith Lord. That makes it the Exalted Secret Chariot's turn. Alright, well, with the loss of the Talos, the Eldar is the only real preferential target, I suppose, for Slanesh here. So the Exalted Secret Chariot just advanced forward really far, trying to get to this Wraith Lord. Yeah, that's really all I could do. That will make it the Tyrannifex's turn. Man, there was just a whole lot of surprises that happened. So the Tyrannifex dumped everything it had, the Acid Spray and the Stinger Salvos, into the Death Dread, doing a little bit of damage to it. Charged in, didn't do a single thing. Couldn't even hit it, because it only had 2 health, so it was super bracketed. But the Death Dread didn't have to suffer that way, and did manage to kill it. Its turn for the fight phase, so the Orcs killed the Tyranids. I mean, the Tyranids brought it amongst themselves, but either way. Well, that'll make it to the last faction for the first round here. That lonely obliterator way over there, it's his turn. Well, I mean, the Talos would have been a pretty nice close target, but the Havocs killed it. And these guys are kind of running away in their own direction. So this obliterator just advanced over towards this side of the table. The only thing he's in range of really is the Havocs, and factional bias kicks in, so that's all it can do. Which takes us to the end of the first round. We got 2 factions already knocked out. Sure, round 2 is going to bring a lot more. Alright, so we're going to start the top of round 2 with the Doomsday Arc. So the Doomsday Arc, once again, probably never going to move. Shot its Cosplayer Array at the Death Dread, did a single point of damage to it. And then its Doomsday Cannon got 5 shots this time. Managed to do a decent amount of damage to the Castle and Robot over here. It's not going to do anything else though, so that'll make it Slanesh's turn. So the Exalted Secret Chariot moved a whole lot closer to the Wraith Lord. Not close enough to use the whip thing. Lash of Torment, I think. So it charged in, made it, didn't suffer any damage from Overwatch. Only did a little bit of damage to this thing, but Wraith Lords are like T8, so Ghost Glaive on the return didn't really do a whole lot to the Secret Chariot, so these guys are just kind of punching each other wildly in the air. That'll make it the Rogaldorn's turn. So the Rogaldorn has continued to move up to try and get in between the Obliterator and the Havocs, so you can just pound the 2 of them. But taking shots at them after moving kind of sucks, because hitting on a 5 just is really hard to do apparently for the guard tonight. They're really not hitting it with anything. Tried to do multi-meltas into the Obliterator. That didn't work. Dumped everything else in the Havocs. That didn't work. Just a whole lot of not working at all. It was kind of crazy. Well, with that being said, it's the Wraith Lord's turn. The Wraith Lord decided not to move, just preferring to stay in combat with the Exalted Secret Chariot. It unfortunately failed to do anything to the chariot, but in return the chariot failed to do anything to it. That's going to make it the Orc turn. Pretty sure this guy only has 1 health left, so living on borrowed time at this point. So the Death Red had moved closer to the Castlin robot, fired off its twin scorchers at it, did absolutely nothing. Decided it wanted to charge in, and actually died in Overwatch. Only had to do 1 point of damage to it. I mean, but still, it's super funny when things die in Overwatch like this, when they're just like a single unit in a big battle royale kind of situation. I mean, it's orcs. What do you expect? Still kind of funny though. Alright, so that'll take us on over to the Iron Warriors Havocs. Alright, so still not moving with these guys. High ground and all. They dumped everything they had into the Rogalorn and did like, I don't know, 2 points of damage to it. A point here, a point there. Pretty soon you're talking about, 17 wounds. Alright, well, that'll take us to the Admech turn. So the Cathlon robot is just going to continue advancing over towards the Doomsday Arc. That's all I can do. Alright, so that's going to take us over to the Night Lord's Obliterator over there on the other side of the table. And that'll be the last faction going for this round. Alright, so the Obliterator is not moving. Just shot at the Rogodorn with the Focused Malice profile. Did manage to hit, failed to wound. Totally makes me sad. Alright, well that puts us at the end of round 2. Alright, so starting us off on the top of the third will be Slanesh. Locked in combat with the Wraithlord. So the Exalted Secret Chariot has decided to remain in combat with the Wraithlord. Did a point of damage to it, which put it down in this middle bracket. And then the Wraithlord failed to do anything in return. Which, funnily enough, means it's the Wraithlord's turn. So the Wraithlord has also opted to remain in combat with the Exalted Secret Chariot. It did a decent amount of damage to it, like 6 damage to it. Got it really close. The Exalted Secret Chariot didn't do any damage to it this time. Well, that's going to take us on over to the Castlin robot. Still making a slow and steady pace over towards the Doomsday Arc. The Castlin robot has just moved up towards the Doomsday Arc. Did attempt to shoot at it with its Incendiing Combuster. And even though there was auto hits, there was just no wounds there at all. Tried to make a charge, failed that. But luckily didn't suffer any Overwatch. That'll make it the Doomsday Arc's turn. So the Doomsday Arc used its Godsplayer arrays, which were in rapid fire range, to take out the Castlin robot that was here. And its Doomsday Cannon got the Obliterator over here down to 1 health. So that's super happiness. I mean, I would have taken a death kill on this, happy little Obliterator, but mostly killed is good. That's going to take us to the Imperial Guard. So the Rogodorn did not move this turn, chose to just hang out there. Multi-Meltas finally came through, killing off the Obliterator. And we dumped everything else into the Havocs, killing 2 of them off. It just needed dice to warm up, I think. Could be because it didn't move, it didn't need a 5 to hit either. That probably helped a lot too. So for the last faction for this round, it is the Iron Warriors' turn. Alright, so these guys didn't move, they just kind of shuffled a little closer together. They dumped everything that they had into the Rogodorn, doing a couple points of damage to it. They're not going to charge anything. So that'll take us to the end of round 3. So, starting us off in round 4 is the Iron Warriors again. Kind of nice to get 2 turns in a row. So once again, these guys dumped everything they had into the Rogaldorn, doing a couple of points of damage to it. Slowly but surely wins the race, right? That'll take it on up to the Wraithlord's turn. Alright, so the Wraithlord decided to stay in combat with the Exalted Secret Chariot, which was obviously a good choice because he killed it. Super awesome stuff here. That'll make it the Doomsday Ark's turn. Alright, well, can't really see the Rogaldorn from there, can barely see the Wraithlord, so had to shoot at the Havocs. Kind of overkill to kill him with the Doomsday Cannon, but they're too far away for the Godslayer array. Managed to kill 2 of these Havocs off. Oh well. Alright, well, that is going to make it the Imperial Guard turn. So the Rogaldorn used its main battle cannon against the Wraithlord, putting it down to 2. And then put everything else into the Iron Warriors Havocs, killing them off. Finally. Okay, so that'll be the end of turn 4. So we'll start turn 5 with the Doomsday Ark over there. So I just did something that I don't consciously recall doing this at any point ever. It was move a Doomsday Ark. I just needed to get it closer so I could get better line of sight on the Wraithlord. Even at low power though, it definitely did a good job. Did kill the Wraithlord, so that just leaves this Doomsday Ark and the Rogaldorn left. That being said, it is the Rogaldorn's turn. Might be at least 1 turn of just these guys maneuvering around the hill so they can see each other. So the Rogaldorn is just advancing around the hill here to get over to where the Doomsday Ark is. Can't really shoot any of its guns after it moves. I think the Cascader is the only thing that can shoot, and like the multi-meltas. Either way, nothing's in range. You can't see anything, so Doomsday Ark's turn. Alright, well, I had to move it again just to get line of sight on the Dorn, so moved it another foot. It's out of range for the Godsplayer array by about 2 inches. Super sad. Low power beam again with the Doomsday Cannon. Unfortunately, the Rogaldorn managed to save, which was sad. But that does make it the Rogaldorn's turn, and it's definitely within range of a lot of things, so yeah, I don't know. So the only things that are actually in range on the Dorn against this guy over here are the Heavy Stubber and the Twin Battle Cannon. That being said, they did do 3 damage to it, so slowly getting it down, perhaps. It doesn't want to get any closer because once it's within 2 feet, it'll be within 2 feet of those Gauss players, and that's a bad time sometimes. So that'll be it for the Dorn for now. So we'll go to the Doomsday Ark. Alright, well, not moving this guy means I can use the high power gun. I got lucky. Rolled a 6 to get a number of shots. 4 of those actually hit. All 4 of them actually wounded. At a -5, it sure could not save against it. 4d6 damage yielded 21 points of damage, which is enough to kill it flat out on its own, much less the 6 health that it had at the time. Yeah, that thing's real dead. Like, real dead. It didn't explode, which was super unfortunate. That would have been, like, nice and poetic if it had. but it didn't. So that means that the Doomsday Arc has won the heavy support battle royale. I figured this guy would be one of the three to make it to the end, but I didn't actually think he'd, win. Figured that Doran would win. Good to know, though. Good to know. If you made it to the end of the video, I do greatly appreciate it, especially on weird little experiments like this. I still have a bunch of stuff. I came up with a bunch of new ideas while I was waiting for the audio video experience to unravel or figure itself out. Yeah, fun things coming down the way. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.